Tamil Nadu once again finds itself grappling with a familiar problem, misogyny lurking in public spaces, whether in cinema halls or political arenas. But then on Thursday, I beg your pardon, the 6th of November, misogyny of the worst kind was evidenced in full public display at a press conference. And actor Gouri Kishan became the face of resistance against this pervasive attitude when she stood up to a journalist who asked her an irrelevant and inappropriate question about her weight. The incident unfolded during the promotion of her latest film Others in Chennai, while her co-actor Aditya Madhavan was questioned about how come he lifted her in a scene owing to her so-called imaginative weight. According to that journalist, the conversation took an uncomfortable turn. Initially, the cast kept quiet, and then the one amongst them, Gouri, stood up to this misogynistic man who was masquerading as a social media journalist. It was then that Gouri decided to retort. Gouri's response to the man was unequivocal, and I'm quoting her here. "How does my weight concern you? How is it relevant to this movie? Every woman has a different body type. I will let my talent speak," close quote. She went on to call out the normalization of body shaming and the general objectification of women, a problem rarely, if ever, faced by male actors. Let's listen in to what really unfolded.
I don't need your validation. Okay? I am working hard. என்னோட career timeline பாத்தீங்கன்னா, I have chosen characters that are career oriented. Now I don't want to be a commercial heroine. Okay. அவங்க கத்துறாரு எல்லாரும். I have a perspective, right? Everyone is silencing me here. நீ என்ன சொல்லுன்னு சொல்லிடு. அது எப்படி இன்ட்ரோ பண்ணிட்டு கத்திக்கிட்டே இருக்காரு? I am saying to all the press here, with all due respect, நீங்க எல்லாரையும் நான் generalize பண்ணல. I am not generalizing, but normalizing body shaming. அது ஏன் ஒரு ஆக்ட்ரஸ்க்கு எப்பவுமே ஃபீல் ஆகுது, எப்பவுமே அது கேள்வி ஏன் வந்துட்டு இருக்கு? என்னோட weight, அன்னைக்கு அந்த பிரஸ் என்னோட weight கேட்டாங்க. என்னோட weight இந்த படத்துக்கும் என்ன சம்பந்தம்? ஒரு ஹீரோ கிட்ட கேட்பாங்களா என்ன வெயிட்னு? ஒரு ஹீரோ கிட்ட கேட்பாங்களா என்ன வெயிட்னு? அது எனக்கு காமெடியாவே தோணல. அது என்ன பத்தி கேட்டாங்க, நான் பேசுறேன். அது எனக்கு அப்படி தோணல, அது ரெலவென்ட்டாவே இல்ல. ஒரே நிமிஷம். என்னோட கேரக்டர் பத்தி ஏதாச்சும் கேட்டாங்களா அந்த பிரஸ் மீட்ல? 96 இல்ல அதர்ஸோட கேரக்டர் பத்தி ஒண்ணும் கேட்கல. நான் ஒரு டாக்டரா நீங்க எல்லாரும் கத்திக்கிட்டே இருந்தா நான் எப்படி பேசுவேன்? அதர்ஸோட பிரஸ் மீட்ல நான் பண்ண டாக்டர் மதுமிதா கேரக்டர் பத்தி 0 questions. நான் பண்ண பிளாட்டுக்கு எவ்வளவு, நான் கேரக்டருக்கு என்ன பண்ணிருக்கேன் அதெல்லாம் தெரிய வேணாம். சாருக்கு என் weight தான் தெரியணும். அது எப்படி தப்பா இல்லாம இருக்கு? அது கியூட்டா இருக்கு, பப்ளியா இருக்கு, அதெல்லாம் எனக்கு தெரிய வேணாம். ஹீரோ கிட்ட கேக்குறாரு என்னோட weight என்ன, என்கிட்ட எதுவும் கேட்கல. என்கிட்ட கேரக்டர் பத்தியும் படத்தை பத்தியும் எதுவும் கேட்காம டைரக்டா இன்டைரக்டா கேக்குறீங்க என் weight என்ன, அது எப்படி கரெக்டா இருக்கும்? அது தப்புதான், அது ஒரு ஸ்டூபிட் क्वेश्चन தான். அதனாலதான் நான் இப்போ ரியாக்ட் பண்றேன்.
This isn't an isolated incident. Across Tamil Nadu, women in cinema and politics frequently face such questions, which is actually designed to put them in uncomfortable spots. The worst part, many who ask them do so unapologetically, as if such behavior is acceptable. Gouri Kishan's courage reminds us that misogyny thrives only when it's not challenged. There are several people who've actually questioned it, including singer Chinmay Sripada, who ratified and rallied behind Gouri, praising her for refusing to be silenced. Aditya Madhavan, meanwhile, expressed regret for not having intervened during when this entire scenario unfolded, and he said that he actually was gobsmacked perhaps and could not react. And also several people have reacted. Khushbu Sundar has also reacted to this and said kudos to Gouri for having stood up. But today her movie has released, and before I go into this entire incident, she's an actor first and anything else later. So let me now introduce you Gouri Kishan exclusively on the South Indian on News 9. Gouri, thank you so much for making the time, Gouri.
First of all, thank you for addressing and talking about my film. And in all this noise, I had almost forgotten that today is a very happy day for me.
Yes.
All actors love a release. This is what we are waiting for. And I was really excited after the press show. Everybody had an amazing response about our film. But unfortunately, misogyny spoke, it screamed. It just was
No,
so loud
no.
that I couldn't
You
stay.
know, we are all women in our newsroom, and it's dominated by women, and that's why it's a happy place. Sorry, men, but we love you, but then women are more. And my colleague Adrika, who puts this show together, when I said I'm going to ask her about the film, she said, yes, Sudha ma'am, that's the first thing we need to know. So, Gouri Kishan, I want to ask you this. Many, first of all, congratulations on the release of Others today on the 7th of November, which also happens to be a great actor Kamal Hassan's birthday. So it's a good day, you know, considering he's a great actor. Another thing I've heard about this film is that you play a doctor in this film, and it's got many twists and turns. Apparently, it's a modern crime thriller. How would you describe it, Gouri?
Absolutely, very rightly said. It's an multifaceted, multi-layered crime thriller, medical thriller, which I feel is so underrepresented, not just in the South Indian industry, generally in Indian film industry. It is a genre that hasn't been tackled or explored as much. And I'm beyond grateful to my director, Abhin Hariharan, for having considered me for the role of a doctor. My mom always wanted me to be a doctor. I wasn't able to make that happen, but I'm acting like one. She's happy today. And it's opening avenue for Aditya Madhavan, our debut hero. We're launching him. Absolutely, a ball of a talent. I'm sure he has a long way to go. So I'm really excited because Others, as the title suggests, everyone's very curious. What is Others? Like, what is behind it?
Yes.
And right now, since our shows have started, to I'm not able to soak in that. Like, I want to be in the theater right now because all audiences are like, now we get it, now we get it. And when you make a film, that's what you want, that reaction. We intended for the audience to experience that. And we are talking about a very sensitive
Right.
community film, and we're tackling that.
Yeah, but I remember you from 96. I remember you from Adiye. I mean, we are all great Tamil cinema fans, being a Tamil, and this is a show called The South Indian. So, how would we not know an actor like you who's so inspirational, but what you did and how you did it? Really, hats off to you. And I want to ask you this, that Gouri, correct me if I'm wrong, when this entire thing happened, you actually were very patient for some time, and it seemed to me, Gouri, and maybe I'm wrong, that you listened to him, you heard him out. But it is just that when you heard him out, you heard others out, and when everyone started speaking together, and I saw Abhin, the director of the film, also saying, shh, please keep quiet and all that. But when was the point when it got too much for you and you said, listen, what is this question about, how did Aditya Mahadevan feel when he lifted me in the film? Why are you talking? What was that point when he actually asked this question and thought he was smart by half? He wasn't really. Gouri.
Ma'am, I would like to bring to notice that this is the second time that the same reporter is asking me this. Last week, we had a press meet where the comment was made about my weight to my actor, saying, "You picked her up. How much did she weigh? Ha ha ha. It's not funny." And that day, since the mic was not in my hand, the question was not to me, and everybody laughed it off and it went on. The moment had passed. I remember going back home and feeling extreme anger at myself for having disappointed not just me, but my entire gender, the woman that I should have stood up for,
Wow.
because tomorrow this same guy is going to ask this to another woman. And because he's so entitled, he thinks that commenting about body, today he's asking my weight. Tomorrow, if we let this happen, what is he going to ask me tomorrow? Oh
Um,
no, it's
yeah,
just
scary.
get very scary, and it's going to get more and more vulgar if we continue normalizing this. And that anger, it was seething inside me for this entire week, which I candidly spoke in an interview. And I thanked that journalist who was a man. And I'm not generalizing all men because
Yeah, yeah.
some of my loved ones are men, they
Of
stand,
course.
they're progressive, all of that is there. So this journalist, and I candidly responded what I felt, and I called the question a very stupid question, highly irrelevant. Sustaining in the film industry is hard enough. Being a woman in it, it's not easy. Someone, I think I would still call myself a newcomer, or I'm a young actor still figuring things out, and people are constantly putting you down. And will they ever ask a male actor this question? That was a point that kept annoying me. Why is it that just because I'm a woman, you think you have the right to ask me a question about my body? Because at the end, they're reducing you to just your physicality,
Right.
they're
Yes.
objectifying you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is very disappointing. And the press meet, what happened yesterday, when they asked me initially, I was like, oh, that was you. I was waiting to catch a hold of this guy so that I can ask him what goes on in your mind. I'm so curious. How do you people still exist? Which century are you living in that you, it was never right,
Right.
but the fact it's still normalized now. And it started as like this, and then the whole banter turned into extreme manipulation and emotional and verbal abuse, I would say. Because the, if you see in the video, I'm being silenced. I'm literally requesting, begging everybody to give me time to respond, and he has the audacity to be like, the question was not to you, I was asking the actor and the director.
Wow.
How does that make sense? You're talking about my
That makes it
body.
worse. That makes it worse. I mean, first of all, he's asking an objectionable question. Number two, he says it's not addressed to you, Gauri. It's addressed to Aditya, the actor, and Abhin, the director. I mean, how horrendous and horrible can that get, Gauri?
Absolutely. I'm like, how ridiculous is this? I'm like, bloody, you're talking about me, my body, you're reducing me to just this. And you have the audacity to be like, hey, why are you reacting? Calm down. You know how it's like mansplaining to another level, because this went on the first 5 minutes. I know how to speak up for myself, and I've done it. I don't need anybody to do that for me. But when it started becoming an attack was maybe in the 8th or the 9th minute of this grueling and encounter that's happening, like back and forth, back and forth. It was, ma'am, I would like you to picturize one woman in a room filled with about 50 to 60 men. I did not feel safe. And I consider myself very privileged. I am the lead actor of this film. I am supposed to be in a protected environment. I'm supposed to have my team support me. And I feel attacked. And if I, you know, your mind takes you to very dark places. What if there were no cameras around? Would they have physically abused me? Would they have shut me up and manhandled me?
Yeah,
It would. It,
yeah,
it makes you
yeah.
think all these things.
You know,
And
Gauri, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to interject, but yes, absolutely, that's scary because you were there in a public place, there were cameras and mics there. I want to ask you another thing. When this person, whom I saw, of course, who was speaking out, the man, the perpetrator, let me call him that without, you know, mincing any words, I saw that there, he was also, was he being egged on? Because the entire noise, see, the entire noise can be, please keep quiet, let's just get on with this press conference. Oh, come on, please, guys, let's not make, that is one noise. The other noise is, why? Why can't he ask you such a question? You just answered that question. Why are you taking it too hard? Come on, it is not such a serious matter. So do you feel that there was a lot of kind of support and maybe underlying support for this man who was being misogynistic, Gauri?
there was definitely a lot of noise. It was a lot for me to handle these two main perpetrators who were attacking me. But I could see that somebody was it pacifying or telling him to stop, or was it like, but there was no end to it. But I think silence speaks the loudest. The fact that nobody bothered to intervene in a place where I had mics all around me and I was screaming and still I wasn't heard. Even then, not one man or not one person showed the decency to be like, stop this bullshit. This is not okay. She's the only, I don't need to play the woman card. None of us need to do that. But when you're put in this situation, it feels like sidelining, silencing,
Yeah.
harassment. I call this rowdyism in the name of
But then
journalism.
I'm so sorry, but your director, I mean, all I saw him do, Abin, with due respects, I'm sure that he mentored you, he's your director, but all I saw him was pacifying the crowd in the room. And of course, your co-star Aditya, who later explained that he was too shocked and he could not. And of course, he says, I regret what happened to my co-star Gouri. But then you don't need 1 hour to decide when something wrong is unfolding before your eyes. If a man is slapping a woman, I don't need half an hour to understand. I just go and stop him. So don't you think the men on the dais were also equally culpable, Gouri?
Absolutely, 100%. I could have chosen the easy way out and let this go. It was the easy way. I could have just smiled and let it go. That's what they did. All I want to say, if roles were reversed, I would stand up for my team, my co-actors. That's how I've been brought up. I wouldn't blame it on first film or 100th film. It all just shows up. You have a basic human responsibility to stand up for yourself, and be it a man or a woman. And I was very let down. I was so disappointed because you think people are on your side. And when something like this happens, nobody prepares you. Please don't, that's not good enough saying, I wasn't prepared, this is my first time, all of that. You think this is my first interaction which went so sour. Nobody really prepares you for these kind of things.
Yeah.
It should come from within. It should be human nature.
That's what I said. Yeah, you don't need a class on this. Whatever wrong is happening, you're old enough. Even a child, when sees a dog being beaten, says, shoo, don't do it. We know this instinctively. Have they been in touch with you, Abin and Aditya, to say, hey, we are sorry that we did this? I don't think, look, I'm not trying to sit on judgment on anybody, but I don't think I will easily forgive them for sitting there like ducks and not reacting at all, Gouri. But have they called up to apologize, to say, sorry, Gouri? And number two, you will hear this now, and have you? I don't want to preempt it. Why did you overreact, Gouri? It was okay. He was a fool. He asked you some question. You should have let go. Have you heard that also?
Oh my God, yes. There have been people telling me they will never understand. Don't go to their level. Just keep
Yes.
your calm, make your peace. If I wasn't an actor, maybe I could have just saved myself, guarded my sanity, and gone ahead. But I have a responsibility. God has given me a platform. Acting, this whole life happened to me for whatever reason, my talent, my hard work, and I'm here. If I don't make use of this platform, then what am I even doing? It is a disgrace to, like, how I don't want to use the word journalist for that guy, and I told that he is a disgrace to that community. If I took the easy way out, then I would be a disgrace, and I'm not somebody like that. And yes, my teammates did apologize. Again, see, in situations like this, an unconditional apology is required. I am not in the mental space to hear an explanation or a defense from you. But unfortunately, the ideal responses weren't received. I mean, I did not receive the ideal response. For me, it was still like, please understand from my perspective. And yeah, so I don't want to delve that much into it, because I'm not someone who hates on grudges. They had their reasons. We all had that. I don't need anybody to stand up,
But I also want to ask
and I
you,
can do it.
there are lots of incidents in Tamil film industry. We have one Radha Ravi, very senior actor, he's been so misogynistic. He's commented on Nayantara. He's, of course, as a dubbing artist, he's commented recently. One dubbing artist, much like you, a young woman stood up when she was touched inappropriately by her colleague at a dubbing studio. Do you know, she went there and he almost locked her up and she ran for her life, and she stood up to say, I am going against you. You want to take my job? Take it. But I want to tell people, Tamil film industry, there are lots of people, politicians, forget it. I don't want to bring politics here, because I've done many stories about how they talk disparagingly about women. But Tamil film industry, one thing which shocks me is that there is someone like Bailwan Ranganathan. We know all these people because I'm a Tamil and I watch all this. There is terrible misogyny. Of course, we have the cinema collective. We also have people like Rohini. We have Suhasini Maniratnam. All these people who've gotten together and said this should stop. But is it stopping? You have to survive here. Are you even nervous that how you will survive and meander through this wilderness anymore? Gouri?
It is an ongoing struggle. If we have had, leaders, I look up to Rohini ma'am and Khushbu ma'am, who have all spoken up in solidarity for me, by the way, ever since the incident happened. Because Chinmayi, these are all women who I have grown up being inspired by. Parvati Thiruvot and Reema Kalingal. These are names, they showed that it's okay to speak out. And I think the reason I was able to react or respond yesterday was because of the cumulative observations that I've seen of them in interviews. So I think, of course, the misogyny is seething. It screams in all interactions. It's so frustrating because when is this going to stop? When are people going to understand that stop it, this is not normal, this is not okay? I just feel like we shouldn't stop fighting just because it might not change. It's going to be difficult, but as women we have to lift each other up, and I will continue to do so. I have so many of my contemporaries who are my absolute cheerleaders, who would do the same for me. I have hope in the industry. We don't need men to do that for us. Like this incident, the very fact that the media has unanimously supported me,
Oh, yes.
there's no two sides to it, itself shows that this can't go on, this won't go on for too long. The people have to be called out, address it when you have to. And I want to tell all women, you are not too much. It's okay to react, even if it's a micro statement against you. But your gut instinct tells you that was not okay. Please open up. You
Absolutely.
don't have to smile and go ahead with it. You really
Grin.
don't have to.
Yeah, we are taught to grin and bear it. I think that time is over. Last, before I let you go, Gouri, are you going to go for a formal complaint? It happened in front of everybody to some kind of an association, film organization. That's very strong in Tamil Nadu. Are you going to go there, or are they going to come to you? Because I think the press club has also has there been a statement from official handles, as it were?
Yes, to my pleasant surprise, the press and media, being statutory bodies, have been very quick to support my cause. They have
Oh,
released a
yes.
press statement, which I'm so happy about, because it just goes on to show that this kind of behavior will not be tolerated, and no level of a regulatory body would continue supporting this. And it really goes a long way. Amma Association from Kerala, because I am a Malayali, I also do Malayalam films. Amma has posted an extremely outright support to me, saying, "We are with you." It really goes a long way, because, see, the reason I don't think I've still not made my decision. I don't expect him to change overnight. Like people like him, it's years of conditioning. But more than the hatred against this person, I want to push women to speak up, and slowly, with time, it will change. There is no point hating on him. There will be 100 others. But the fact that slowly you get called out, and they will know that this is not normal, and they will stop slowly. So right now, the fact that he is probably in danger after all the
All right.
media that has gone on, I'm sure he's not going through a great time. So I have already won in many ways.
Yes,
So
you.
I don't think a formal complaint is what is at the top of my priorities
All
right
right.
now, because the
Okay.
truth will come and it has come out.
Yeah, and Gouri, you're a winner, all through, and may your tribe grow. May many actors come forward and speak much like you did. And most importantly, on this special day of yours, I hope others hits the jackpot at box office. Thank you very much for speaking with the South Indian on News9. Thank you
you.
indeed.